Hello, everyone. It has been several weeks since I've done a Julie's Jewel, and I'm back to do it today. So I've got two jewels for you today, and the first one has to do with me not doing a jewel in a while. It's like very meta here. What my first jewel is that there's always the opportunity to recommit to a goal. My goal had been to do weekly Julie's Jewels, and I fell off the wagon. I was uninspired. I didn't feel like I had a whole lot to say. I just didn't wanna, I just didn't wanna. And I will tell you, historically, when I've been up against a paradigm like that, like falling off the wagon, I would beat myself up and feel bad and make excuses and just genuinely, feel like crap about it. So I offer you there's another way, and it involves grace and compassion and resilience and recommitting. So I'm not resigned, like I'm not like quitting. I'm not overly attached, like I've got to do it every week. Sorry. I'm off of that. I'm in commitment. I'm recommitting, and I'm going to just keep doing it. So grace, commitment, compassion, and the opportunity to commit and not feel bad for myself or sit in judgment of myself. So that's jewel number one. There's always time to recommit. Jewel number two has to do with being a listener and what it looks like to be an effective listener. So I think a lot of my jewels have been about speaking and about, being sort of like the creator of something. And by the way, I think you can listen and be in a creative conversation as a listener too. And that's kind of what I'm going to get to. But my training about listening has been largely through the lens of you're a passive listener or you're an active listener. And even active listening is a competency for coaching. And you learn about what it means to be an active listener. But I'm not going to go through that because I want to offer you a different framework for understanding what kind of listener you are and what kind of listener you want to be in any given moment. So here's what I offer you. There's sort of like one level of listening that is what I would call disconnected listening. So you're sort of like half-assing the listening. You're there, but like your eyes are probably glazed over. You're not really absorbing what the person is saying. You're really probably more hearing than listening. You're there, but not there. I think all of you can understand what I'm talking about. There's a lack of presence and a lack of connection. And the person who's speaking actually can see that. Even if you're looking at them, they can see there's like something missing. You're not really engaged. That's a very shallow level of listening. And it happens all the time. You're busy. Maybe your kids are annoying you, like whatever is happening, and you're just like not really there. That provides very limited opportunity for conversation, engagement, connection, and trust and relationship. Okay. Next level, listening. And by the way, when I say levels, I'm not even talking about levels traditionally. I'm just one other framework for listening is what I'll call like very attached listening. And it shows up, there's two flavors I think about when I think of attached listening. One is you're listening for validation. So I'm listening to you to hear the ways in which you agree with me. And that's what I'm looking for in my listening. I'm looking for alliance. I'm looking for reinforcement of my position. And I'll find it probably. And that will make me happy through this lens of listening. That is what I am here to listen for. You agree with me, you validate me, you support me, we are aligned. I can dig in further to my position. So I'm attached to my position, and I'm also righteous because I believe I'm right, and I want to hear that I'm right and all the ways in which you're telling me I'm right. A slightly different flavor of this attached listening is I'm listening for combat. I'm listening for ways I know you're wrong so that I can really know that I'm right. So it's sort of like the flip side of the same coin. I'm listening for war. I'm listening to find that place where I get to go toe to toe with you. Again, digging into my position. I'm really attached to my position, but I'm tuning into the ways in which you are wrong and I'm right. Still this righteousness, this attachment, deeply positional, and also very myopic. We're in an either or conversation. In the first flavor I described, we're allies. You're my friend. In the second one, you're my foe. We're enemies. But it doesn't matter. It's this or that. Are you with me or are you against me? That's how you're listening. And then there's another kind of listening. And that is, I don't have a great word for this one, but I'll call it open listening or spacious listening. This is where you may have a position. You probably do have a position. But in your listening, you don't have an agenda. You're not overly attached to your position. You are listening. You are really attending to the person in front of you who's speaking, and you are willing to change your perspective based on new information, based on hearing a new way of conceptualizing something, based on getting really bought into what they're saying. Your ego isn't as much involved because you are actually willing to change your mind. And when I say change your mind, I think people often think, drop what I think and pick up somebody else's thoughts. I don't actually mean that. When I say change your mind, I literally mean change your mind. What is the change you can bring to your position? What is the nuance you can bring to it? Maybe it's some combination of what you originally thought, but hey, there's this way of looking at it too that can be integrated in. Or it's, I've got shades of what I originally came to the conversation with, and there are new considerations that I'm willing to adopt and build in. It's spacious, it's open, it's connected, and it's collaborative. You are humble enough to see that there are other ways, and your listening is attuned to learning. So I had two examples of this week where, and this is why I knew I needed to talk about this today, where I was listening to someone speak and I noticed expansiveness. I noticed my body relaxing, my mind feeling more open. Like, you know how you get tunnel vision when you're really rooted into what you think and it's like you're digging in and you can't even really hear because you're like, I'm sticking with my view. That wasn't this experience. This is that's new. That's interesting. And like in real time, you're integrating what you're hearing into your original thoughts. I didn't abandon my point of view, just to be clear. But I noticed that there was like so much more possibility for creative generation of a new idea that honored my thoughts and this other person's thoughts. There's just so much more spaciousness and possibility when you're willing to be open and learn as a listener. So this leads me to my jewel to be, sorry, my part of this jewel, the second jewel, which is, you know, what kind of listening are you? What are you listening for? And who are you being as a listener? How do you do it? How do you show up as an open listener? So I don't know. I haven't thought this through I haven't thought this through fully, but I think it is, first you have to have the intention. Are you actually willing to be changed by what you're going to hear? Sometimes you might not be, and that's okay, but it's going to be limiting. It's going to limit you. It's going to limit them. It's going to limit the conversation. It's going to limit the relationship. So the first question to like really engage in is, am I willing to be moved and changed and affected by what I'm about to hear? If the answer is yes, then you get to relax into, take the pressure off of holding on to whatever it is you're holding on to. Because again, you're not attached in this scenario. You're actually listening to learn. You're listening to understand. You're listening to build, to integrate, to collaborate. It's a very different way of being and showing up. So the reason I'm struggling with the how for you here is that it is not really a how conversation. It's much more of a who you're being. What are you embodying as you show up in that conversation that has you being willing to consider someone else's point of view and roll it into yours. Bring it into yours. Maybe drop yours completely. Maybe fully changed. Maybe you recognize the limitations of your view. More likely than not, it is some outcome on the other side that is wholly unpredictable for both of you. That it's something new that's created, and it's some version of reality that is a beautiful, non-prescriptive combination of these different ideas and points of view. That's where the creativity and innovation come from. And I actually will assert that you can't innovate and create really effectively without having this kind of spacious, open listening. So I see this on teams all the time. And I guess my invitation for you is to think about what kind of a listener you want to be and what you're actually going to be listening for, and to practice being an open, spacious listener who learns and seeing what comes from that. Thank you for listening. This was long. I think this might be my longest one. I'm out of practice. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Take care.